Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be my November update for my whole collection, Project Pan. I typically post this video around the 5th of every month, but I haven't had the opportunity to film very often lately. So here I am. I'm filming this on the 18th. I will also push my December update as well, so that it's still about 1 month of progress for the next update. Does that make sense? Anyways, this project was created by Becky Loves Kanga. This is the 3rd year in a row that I am participating in this project. Absolutely love it. Fully plan on doing it again next year. I know this project isn't for everyone because you can't really be strategic with it, with randomizing a makeup, or I have beauty items as well. Completely random is what you're going to be working on. So I get that it's not for everyone, but for me personally, where I really struggle with touching everything in my collection within the year, and I tend to reach for the same handful of things when they're not in a project pan, that this just helps me discover things that have expired and also get more use out of my collection in a more well-rounded way. And I just love that about this project so much. So I am definitely going to be doing it in 2022 as well. But let's just hop into my progress. Surprisingly, I'm going to be rolling in quite a lot of products, which I know I only have 1 month left. I considered not doing it, but honestly, this is just the funnest part, is doing the randomization and seeing what you get. And I may only use these things I'm rolling in a couple of times, 2 to 3 times, depending on what it is, of course. But that's better than not touching it at all, especially if it's something I haven't used yet this year. So I am going to be pulling in quite a number of products towards the end of the video, so stay tuned for that. But I'm going to start off with the 2 items that have been in since January, since the beginning. The first is my Tarte Beach Babe lipstick. I originally wanted to finish this off. I changed my goal to be 30 uses. Let me get the plastic piece down. I do not have very much lipstick in here at all. I've used a ton of this year. I'm very happy with the progress I made. I'm wearing it today for the 29th time. I'm going to roll this out today. 1 more use isn't worth keeping this upstairs for the rest of the year, essentially, and it's not going to make that big of a difference. I'm not going to finish it in that one last use, but I made amazing progress on this over the course of the year, and I've set myself up for success for finishing this off in 2022, which will be amazing. I love this formula and will definitely pick up a different shade. This is just a bit too light of a nude for my preferences. It's a very light peach nude, which is beautiful. And I used to really like this more than I have been lately. I like a nude that's a little bit deeper and not quite so peachy. The other product that's been in since January is my NYC Bronzer. Again, my goal is to hit pan on this originally, but I switched it to 30 uses or pan. This had hard pan at one point in the year that I scraped off, and I have hard pan again, which is very frustrating for me. I have only used this 22 times this year. And honestly, like, not even being able to reach for something, I mean, a lip product's a little different because I feel like I reach for a different lipstick every single day, but I should have been able to knock out 30 uses on a bronzer easy peasy, and not being able to do that is kind of telling me something. You guys know it literally pains me to declutter things that I feel like I have the obligation to use, like the waist, I bought it. This cannot go to a new home. It's super old. This is the 2nd time it's gotten hard pan. Like I said, I am going to scrape off the hard pan one more time. I know so many of you are going to be in the comments screaming like, just declutter it, but I just can't. I know that sounds so stupid, but I just can't. I'm going to scrape it off one more time and see if I can meet my 30 use goal by the finale. And I will not be scraping hard pan off this for a third time. This bronzer is like $3. It's super old. I know I should declutter it, but I'm not there yet. So we're at 22 uses. Just sticking with my like more traditional project panning side, I have my Pixi Apricot Glow eyeshadow. Can't get it open ever. I'm working on this lighter shade. I have it on my inner corners today. The rest of my look is the Natasha Denona Zendo palette, and I really like this. It finally has some like visible usage on it. I have started focusing the last 2 uses. I've used it 4 times. Like, I'm acting like I'm halfway there. The last 2 uses I have been using like the top portion and hoping to wear that down a little bit quicker. Again, 30 uses or pan on this. This is not a goal I will meet by the end of the year, but I'll just keep using it every once in a while. My goal is to finish this Stella McCartney Pop perfume. It's a deluxe size sample. I wanted this gone by the end of the year. I've literally worn this every day. It was half full or a little below half at the last update. It's been a month and a half and it hasn't even gone down that much. I don't understand. These Dauber style perfumes take me forever to use because I can only really put it on my wrists and like rub my wrists together. I can't, well, I don't feel like spilling this on my clothing, I guess, to like dump it down my neck. Whereas if it's a spray, you know, you can like spray it all around and do a little dance. I don't really track my usage on that because I don't have my little journal situation here laid open all the time, but I'm using that pretty much every single day. Like, I might miss a day or two here and there, not very often. The last product that's in this side of my project is the Stila Glitter and Glow liquid eyeshadow in the shade Golden Girl. I used this 3 times. I did revive it like I said I would when I rolled it in. I have looked up and down this entire house for a week and I cannot find it. Last I saw it, Emmett was running around with it in his tiny little hand. I even checked the heating vents because a couple of them, I think if he really tried, he could get it down there, but I don't know where it is. It literally had like 1 or 2 uses left in it. Even after reviving it, it still wasn't great. I was going to use the last of it as a topper over this nail polish and like try and seal it in with a top coat. So I don't think I'm going to count that as a makeup empty for the end of the year. 1, because I can't show it, and 2, I really just don't feel like I used it a ton. Like, mostly it dried up and expired. I did use it a handful of times while owning it, obviously, and then 3 times after rolling it into this project, but I think I'm just going to call it a goner. That's really frustrating for me, but that's what happens sometimes. Since I have this in my hands, we're now moving into the products I wanted to use just 10 times. This is the OPI nail lacquer and it's a Piazza cake. This was a part of their Venice collection like a very long time ago. I've only used this 4 or 5, most likely 4 times, and it's been in here for a couple of months now. It's currently on my toes. I am going to paint it on my fingernails when I have time. It was one of those things where I did my makeup at 10 p.m. It's now 10:40 where I'm sitting down to film, and I looked at this and I was like, I should paint my nails before filming, but like, I'll try and paint them tomorrow. The Bare Minerals Bronzer in the shade Kiss of Copper. I'm happy to say that I met my 10 use goal on this product. I love this. I like it more in the summer when I have a tan. It is a bit deep and it just has that like really rich, warm, coppery finish. It is on my cheeks for the 10th time today and brushed across the bridge of my nose. I really like doing that with this type of product. I use it more like just a blush. It does work as a bronzer, like they say. If you like a really glowy bronzer, sunburnt kind of look, this will give it to you. Packaging kind of sucks for how expensive this is, but I'm happy I got 10 uses on this in this project. The CoverFX Moonbeam Brightening shade, again, for 10 uses. I can't open it. I've used this 9. I used it today. I mixed these two highlighters together. That's what I liked doing with this. If I wanted a more pinky highlight, I mixed it with this rose gold. And if I wanted a more golden champagne highlight, I mixed it with this shade here because this is very icy. I used it 9 times. Same thing with the lipstick. I'm not going to keep this in for another month or more for one more use. I am very happy with my usage on this palette. I used all of the shades while this was up in my everyday makeup drawer. This shade particularly, the 9 times, but I'm sure I used the finishing powder once. I used the contour 3 or 4 times, same with the blush. So I'm happy with putting this back into my drawer. The Laura Geller blush in the shade Tropic Hues. I've used this quite a lot this year, but since rolling it into this project, I've used it 6 out of 10 times, which I think is really good since this hasn't been in the project for very long. 1 or 2 months, I think. I should really start writing the months I roll things in. I'll do that next year. I love this. It's a beautiful glowy pink blush and I definitely want more of this formula. Lastly, I have my ColourPop Luxe Gloss. This is in collaboration with Robbie DeChristie in the shade Glacier. It's on my lips today on top of the lipstick. It's a very icy, glittery gloss, but it's not gritty, which I appreciate. It's not my favorite. It's quite thick, not overly sticky. I do not like the ginormous wands on these ColourPop lip products, but what can you do? I've used this 6 out of 10 times as well, so only 4 more uses to go on these 2. I think I will definitely have these goals met for the finale and the bronzer, and we'll see how much other products I can get done as well. So the Stila Glitter and Glow, that is in the void. The Tarte Lipstick, Bare Minerals Bronzer, and the CoverFX Highlighter are all rolling out today. 4 products. That pretty much never happens for me, but I'm really happy to have accomplished 3 goals. And yeah, we're gonna roll in 4 products this update. Again, it's just a month, probably a little over a month before the finale, but that's okay. That's okay. We're gonna do it. I am not going to roll in an eyeshadow. I started allowing eyeshadows in this project halfway through the year, and I honestly think that was a mistake, just because I really just need to focus on like Shop My Stash palettes and pan those eyeshadows for next year. We'll see if I can stick to that. But all to say is I'm not including eyeshadows in my numbers. So in my Pretty Random app, I have in the numbers 2 to 521. I do not want more than 2 of any product category. But right now, everything is fair game. So we're just going to do this one at a time. 34, I think that's an eyeliner. No, it's an eyeshadow primer, and one that I think I could actually finish before the end of the year. That would be amazing. I'll show you everything afterwards. Next number is 198. A blush. So we can't roll in another blush because we now have 2. 11. What the heck is happening with all these small numbers? I feel like this never happens. And lastly, 235. That's a blush. That's a fragrance, and we now have 2 in this project. That's also a blush. Wow, I got a fantastic selection of products. So first up, the eyeshadow primer I got is this little sample from Urban Decay, but this is in the shade Sin, so it's more of a shimmery eye base. The Urban Decay Primer Potion is probably my favorite eyeshadow primer ever. I've never tried the Sin version, just the original and the anti-aging, I believe. But this should be easy to finish in 1 month. Last time I used one of these, like this was in a duo or maybe 4, I don't remember. I made the mistake of depotting this into another container that wasn't really perfectly airtight. Oh yeah, this says it's a pale nude shimmer shade. So I think I'm going to be very careful about the way that I open this and then tape it closed with each use and hope I get to use every last drop. But this should be really easy to finish. Next, the blush I pulled is Tarte Party. I just put this away in the Panner's Pan finale. I was trying to hit pan in this for Kelly Gooch. My goal would typically either be 10 uses or 30 uses or pan. I'm just going to try and use this a couple more times before the end of the year. I have other blushes I'm focusing on as well. This is a great nudie pink shade. I really like this. It's just funny that I just put it away not that long ago. Next, the fragrance I pulled was the Sol de Janeiro Sol Cheirosa 62. I had this on my wish list since it released. It just sounded like it would smell so good, but the bottle is super expensive. So when this was a freebie on Sephora, when I placed one of my orders a while ago, I picked it up so fast. It's just a little fragrance here. It's definitely a summer scent, but that's okay. I think I might, there's like a centimeter left in this deluxe fragrance. Like, do I focus on one? Do I alternate them day to day? I'm not really sure. This has the gourmand notes of salted caramel, pistachios, jasmine petals, and vanilla. That sounds amazing. One of these I would love to be empty by the end of the year. Not sure which one it will be. Maybe you can leave me your suggestions in the comments below. And lastly, an eyeliner. This comes from Beauty for Real. It's their Eyeline 24/7 eyeliner in the shade Chocolate Fix. I am working on another brown eyeliner, but they are different. This is very rich and chocolatey, can kind of go in place of a black eyeliner. This doesn't seem to roll up or down. That is very strange. Maybe I can consider this an empty for the end of the year if I use up that nub, or I will try and figure out what is wrong with that. It won't go up or down. That's very strange. Wow, what a great final update before the finale. I'm super happy with my new products I'm going to be bringing upstairs with me. I think there's a good chance I can reduce some inventory numbers before the end of the year within this project, which is amazing. Let me know if you plan on participating in this project next year. I'd love to know. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.